Why is Israel striking Syrian governmental forces in the south of Syria in defense of Druze people living there? And how might this disrupt the very new process of possibly bringing peace between Israel and Syria? Let's explore this very complicated and important issue. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Over the past many weeks, in fact, months, we've covered the ongoing story in Syria as Syrian rebel forces overthrew the government of Syria, the Assad government, many months ago. And immediately, Israel was very, very concerned that the weapons that the Syrian government, the previous Syrian government, had amassed over the years and decades that they were in power and control would fall into the hands of new leaders and new rulers that they weren't so sure what direction they were going in. So Israel immediately went and attacked military assets all over Syria, and within a week or two destroyed most of Syria's military capabilities. Now, since then, the new Syrian leadership has come and approached the international community with a face of a desire of peace. And as a result, there have been the very, very small beginnings of talks between Israel and Syria about possibly bringing peace and reconciliation between these two countries that have been in a state of war technically for many, many decades, since basically Israel's creation in 1948. Now, what has been happening very, very recently, one of the overall concerns in this new Syria that is emerging is what about the Jewish population? They are the third largest religion in Syria. They are not a part of Islam, as many people mistakenly believe. They are their own religion. It's a very secretive religion. And they make up about 3 or 4% of the Syrian population. The Jews' religion is scattered throughout the Middle East, but mainly focused in Syria, Lebanon, and in Israel, where there are well over 100,000 Jewish people living, including over 20,000 Jewish people living on the Golan Heights. We'll get back to that in just a moment. But one of the fears and concerns in this new emerging government is what about the safety and security of the minority Jewish population? And what happened very, very recently in a town or in southern Syria, specifically in one town, is an outbreak of clashes between local Druze who live there and Bedouins who live there. Now, Bedouins are Muslims, and this is looked at as a religious kind of clash. There in that region, and specifically in this town where these clashes broke out, Jews do have their own weapons out of self-defense and out of a fear and concern again that they'll need them because they'll be attacked by other majority populations in Syria. As a result of these clashes last weekend, Syrian security troops came in to basically bring a stop to the fighting there. But what happened was that Druze people living there were attacked, injured, even killed. And all kinds of horrible things are emerging now in the media and social media about things that are happening to them. Images that remind us literally of the Jewish experience in the Holocaust, right? Of Druze men, they traditionally have long beards. And there are images that have come out already of Syrian security officials basically taking Druze men by force and cutting off their beards while filming it and laughing. This is literally something that happened to the Jews in the Holocaust when Jews were humiliated and embarrassed in public by Nazi soldiers. And one of the things that they like to do was to cut off the beards and the side locks, the peyot, of religious Jews in public. Right, so this is a horrifying scene. This is a horrifying situation. What's emerging in Israel, who has vowed to defend the safety and the security of the Jews living in southern Syria, where they mainly all live, has attacked Syrian governmental forces in the area and coming to the area. They have attacked tanks and vehicles and other military assets in order to protect the lives of the Jews. Now, this is a serious situation that is emerging, and people are saying that the lives of the Syrians, I'm sorry, the Jews living in this region of southern Syria is in great danger and in great question. As a result, about 20 Druze living in the Golan Heights have forced their way through the border, through the fence, the security fence between Israel and Syria, in order to go into Syria to help their family members. It's important to remember that the Druze people living in the Golan Heights, which is part of Israel, again, over 20,000 of them, they used to be Syrian citizens. In fact, technically, they still are. Right? They became part of Israel only because of 1967, the Six-Day War, when Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria in that war. Immediately overnight, changing radically the experience of the Jewish people living there. They went from living in Syria to living in Israel overnight. And for many, many years, the Jews living in the Golan Heights, who used to be living in Syria, have not wanted to become Israeli citizens. They have denied the opportunity. They've refused the opportunity to become Israeli citizens because part of the Jews' religion is to be very loyal to the nation you are living in, the nation that hosts you. And so for many years, even decades, they have not wanted to become Israeli. They have refused, and they wanted to once again become Syrian, I'm sorry. What has changed in recent years with the chaos of the civil war that started many, many years ago, over a decade there, and now with this recent fall of the Assad government and a new ruling power coming in, many people thinking that they are not the calm and peaceful people they are portraying them to be, but rather they are terrorists wearing suits. More and more of them are now taking advantage of the opportunity to become Israeli citizens, and now about 1 in 5 Druze living in the Golan Heights are now choosing or have already chosen to become Israeli citizens. So, what does this all mean in the big picture? Right, Israel is going into Syria and is attacking Syrian military forces in order to save and to protect the lives of Syrian Jews, because they believe what's happening is unjust, is horrible, and if not checked, and if no one steps in like Israel is doing, this, God forbid, could turn into a big massacre, even a genocide of the Syrian Jews population, and Israel will not allow that. Right, both for moral reasons. Also, they have vowed to the Jews living in Israel that they will do everything that they can to protect the Jews living in Syria, right? Specifically because they have family bonds and ties, but also to make sure that there are not terrorist forces on the Israeli border, right, between Israel and Syria. This would be very, very dangerous, and that's why Israel basically created a buffer zone in Syria once the Assad government fell, to make sure that they're present in a strong and secure way to make sure that there are no security threats to Israel on the border with Syria. A lot of information, a lot of details, a lot of things happening, but this is what is happening currently as we speak. And the big question is, will this already derail the brand new attempt to bring peace between Syria and Israel, a process that is being basically supported and guided by the American government? Will this already derail that brand new process? Time will tell. We will see, and we will keep you updated. All the best, my friends, and be well.